Oh, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am straight in from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I thought it would be very, very fun on the 90-minute drive I just had to sing you a 10-second song. Here it goes. We're live in the Dividend dive. We're live in the Dividend dive. It's 7 o'clock. It's time to talk dividend stocks. Thank you. That's a first and probably only that I've now doubted the naysayers that I do know how to play a little guitar. Singing, that's very, very debatable. But there you go. That song was just created about 15 minutes ago. And we got a new president coming in. So, hey, why not? It's time for change. What's old is new again, I guess. And what's new may not be good. But we sally forth onward and upward with smiles on our faces and a cherub-like cheerful disposition that we bring to you with this interesting blend of unique investing thoughts and fusion of, I don't know, shenanigans that we have here on the channel. So we want to know, what do you think of the market? What have you been buying? Don't tell us what you think of the market. Just tell us what you have been buying. I really want to hear what you have been buying. So, Alan, I did create the own intro song, I guess, but it gets old. You know why? I don't like intros. I did away with that. Old time people, old school of Dapper Dividends channel used to have an intro, but that crap gets old, honestly. God bless PPC Ian. I don't even remember. Does he still do it? I should know that. It's been a minute since I keep meaning. I got his videos in the queue, but and you know how you know when you watch a TV show. We're finishing up The Terror on Netflix. Very interesting show. It takes place in the 1840s. It's horror. It's about some English sailors in the 1840s, 1848 in the Arctic. Anyway, we hit skip intro because we don't need to. We watched it once, and I'm like, okay, I don't just get to the content. So that's what we. Yeah, interesting. You say you're buying SCHD, Pat. I was just reading today, when I had a minute, an article that was on Seeking Alpha about seeking. Where is that? I deleted it. See about SCHD creating wealth, preventing wealth creation, something to that effect. And it's so funny that the author, which I think was Davy Jones or Daniel Jones. Hey, Honeybee, Steve, Shannon, I should just say hello to all you guys. Look at, I just go right into this stuff. Yeah, I don't know if you missed it, I did a little guitar playing on the intro, so it was probably drowned out. The vocals were probably drowned out, which was a good thing because, hey, a singer I am not. That is apparent, but I do play a little bit of guitar, so I thought it'd be fun to just make a very, very, very basic punk song. And there you go. Now you've all been treated. Depending on your musical inclinations, that may have been a little bit painful for you. But hey, let me slide my tea over here while that cools off. So yeah, I've hope you all enjoyed that interview with Jonathan Glazer. That was fun to make. And if you missed it, I had a conversation with Jonathan Glazer, who's just a regular dude. He would email right back, reply to the newsletters, and he would say, a couple times he said, in my 50 years of investing, and you know, that always stuck out to me. And I thought, I'd like to talk to somebody that's been investing for 50 plus years because they probably have some interesting things to share. And of course, one thing he said stuck out, and he's called it get it and forget it stocks. That was the point of the newsletter. So thank you, Jonathan, for giving me, I needed something quick to put out in the newsletter because, hey, daddy's busy, right? Sorry, I was eating some peanuts. That's a bad idea. If you're going to be talking for an hour, don't eat peanuts because, they get stuck in the larynx or wherever that is in there. I don't want to say that, the folds of the vocal tract, esophageal area that we breathe in through. You know what? Fun fact here. Well, I don't know. That could be pushing some theosophical their religious ideologies there if I share my thoughts on the design. Okay, I'll share. I can't tease it and not say it right. So somebody once said that the human body couldn't be designed any more perfectly, and one of the best counter arguments I've heard to that is it actually could have, because we could have had the feeding tract, the feeding tube, and the breathing tubes separate. So that way, if something is lodged in the feeding tube, then you won't die. So I don't know. Take it up with your creator when you meet him. If you don't agree with that, we'll all see it someday. We'll get an answer. But let's see what you guys have been buying there. Hey, I told you, we'll start with a punk song, and all of a sudden, it's we keep it. Yeah, glad you liked it, Billy. I had fun. I enjoyed it. One of the things that I'm a firm believer in life is that every person on this planet has something to teach you. It's just you have to find out what that is. They may not even know what it is that they have to teach you, but I'm a firm believer that everybody does indeed have that. So, did I tell you about the get it and forget it stocks? Yeah, in a nutshell, my interpretation of it is you just buy these companies that you can forget about. And I was like, oh my gosh, I actually have some of those. AbbVie, ticker ABBV, McDonald's, which kind of Chris Kempczynski, I think, is the CEO. I just know the name. But anyway, you don't know the CEO. You don't know any of the executives. You haven't really looked at any fundamentals. You just know that the company is still around. McDonald's, you still see McDonald's everywhere. Anyway, for me, that was AbbVie, ticker ABBV, McDonald's, ticker MCD, Lockheed Martin, ticker LMT, ExxonMobil, ticker XOM, and a couple of you responded, Chevron. I did start consolidating some of the portfolio. It just had 15 shares of Chevron. It's not going to kill us, people. But ticker CVX. How do I know that those are get it and forget it stocks? Because I can't name any executives. That's crazy. I don't know the CEO. So that should go to show you that there truly are some companies that, as long as the brand is out there, you know that they're doing their thing. They're still a strong brand, growing the revenue every year. Probably don't need to babysit them too much, like my Next Star Media Group, which I do. Oh, I still have my sticker on there. Look at that. My that's supposed to be a Blatz logo, by the way, that they did that. All right, let's see, you guys. So anyway, Pat, you've been up on the screen forever. Shannon is waiting for the Trump reaction. We'll see. I don't know if there'll be much of one, but who knows, right? The future is unknown and unknowable. So it always pays to diversify and not put all your eggs in one basket. Steve, what's up? You didn't like me selling Chevron, but hey, we got to do what we got to do, right? But you bought General Mills, PepsiCo, British Petroleum. You're buying LyondellBasell and SCHD. Nice. Honeybee. I think you might have meant, I'm guessing that's J&J, Rick, because J is right next to the K. So I don't know what J and K is. If that is anything, that would be funny. Yeah, thanks, John. A singer I will never be. It's all just apologies if you can hear that. In the next room over, just past the piano lounge, I have our laundering area and one of the washing machines that we have here in the compound. What's a compound? I don't know. If you can hear that, I'm so sorry. But that's Samsung for you with that little song. Gets stuck in your head. But hey, it's real life. That's what we got going on here. It's my life. It's not. It's washing machines. Billy, you bought Archer Daniels Midland. Clearly, you're not concerned with the financial shenanigans they got going on there. Where there's smoke, you're saying there's not fire. Bought more Hershey. Dude, Hershey down in the low 150s. Little LyondellBasell and PepsiCo. All right, let's get through a few more of these. SPGI, that's one I still haven't looked into, and MasterCard. Very nice. Jay. Good. Glad you enjoyed our chat with Shannon. Or with no, you're Shannon. I'm enjoying chatting with you, but our chat with Jonathan. Why is Vici's dividend safety 50? Well, if I should be getting Brian Bollinger on soon, you can ask him, but it might be. Let me see if I can. Just because maybe the cyclicality, they might. I know you can't see this and it's not riveting, but well, I'll show you. You know what? Show you, don't tell you, right? John, let's take a quick peek. And I didn't buy more Vici this week. I bought more Vici last week. But yeah, 50 borderline safe. And they have a decent credit rating too. So Simply Safe Dividends just started. There he goes. Hold on, let me give you guys more real estate here. At least do that. All right. So triple B credit rating. And yeah, Simply Safe has the nice little chart. They paid money to hook up with, I think it was Moody's. So they get these. So yeah, so that's the delineating line. I usually forget. Triple B plus is the highest junk grade, and triple B minus is investment grade. And obviously, junk doesn't mean junk from what I've understand. It's not like you're buying a junk stock, but it's just for whatever reason, the credit terminology they use, and it affects the cost of borrowing, and it usually means that the company has to pay a higher yield in order to attract investors because it's probably a little bit riskier. So you need to be compensated for that risk. Where like again, a J&J and Microsoft have better. They're the only two companies, right, that have a better credit rating than the U.S. government. So they're probably going to not pay as much, but safe, very safe. So you're getting less compensation for the safety of that. How I understand it, if that makes sense. But anyway, Vici Properties. So they get a decent credit rating, and I'm wondering why. Maybe because they're so they really in effect started in 2018 when they spun out of Caesars Entertainment, their bankruptcy. Their properties were split off into Vici, so they're keeping with the Roman theme there, right? But yeah, Vici looks under. If you don't know Vici, by the way, they're essentially think Vegas. I know a lot of channels, myself include, cover them. They are basically the landlord that if you want to invest in the Vegas Strip and do it in one shot, you buy Vici. But yeah, their AFFO payout ratio though is 75%. That's the one over on the left there. But I wonder if their debt. I don't remember what their debt is. But yeah, their AFFO keeps growing up and to the right. That's adjusted funds from operations, kind of like the equivalent of like a good earnings metric for a company like Johnson & Johnson. If anybody has a better explanation, please do share it. I'd love it. Let me see their debt. Yeah, their net debt actually is not bad. So I don't know, John. But that's interesting. So that 50 borderline safe score, that's their proprietary. So I know Kevin Burgess, we both said it. That is people, Brian Bollinger and a couple other analysts at Simply Safe Dividends. They review it. They give it that. It's not an algorithm that gives, from what I understand, it's not an algorithm that gives those safety scores. So they just, for whatever reason, they feel it's borderline safe. And yeah, so I don't know exactly why that is, John. When you asked why is it, that'd be a good question. That would be a great question. And why we always do our due diligence. If you look at the numbers and you feel it's a lot safer, it's all that matters, because Simply Safe obviously has not been perfect. Paolo, what's up, man? Thank you for swinging on by the channel. Frankie V bought a share of Procter & Gamble. It's dropping because of the 10-year. Hey, that's good, man. That's look at this. Kevin wants me to do a little Pennywise. I must say that Fletcher is more of a metal type guitarist. Oh, speaking of punk, I'm just getting hooked up. I haven't been able to respond to her, but if anybody reads Malden Economics, they have a, I think it's this damn carpet. Quite honestly, my nose has been fine all day, and as soon as I start live streaming, it's like an allergic reaction or something. So I told my wife, I'm like, we gotta, older carpet from when we had our kids. It's probably 15 years old. I think we need to clean it like properly, like UV lights and stuff. But anyway, you really didn't need to know that, but now you do. Now you know, and knowing is half the battle. And what is that battle? I have no idea. So Kelly Green writes the Dividend newsletter for Malden Economics, and out of the blue, I got her team tried to say, hey, she might be a good guest. So I get emails, and it was funny. I was reading through the fun facts about her, and as soon as I saw it fronted a female pop punk band, I was like, yep, hello, let's chat. So looking forward to that. I'm not, it'll probably be in the next 2 to 3 weeks or so, or whenever, but Apple down near 8% year to date. I think, right, 17%. I think year over year, their sales in China are down. And that's something interesting. So China's not buying as much, and that could be a bellwether for, bigger things to come on a global scale. And maybe that'll tip it. But as I was reading that SCHD article, I love it. The comments on Seeking Alpha, I think, are where it's at. One commenter had said and reminded everybody that SCHD actually was outpacing the S&P 500 for a long time, up until maybe 15, 20 months ago, when AI and the tech boom really started making things go nuts. And they had said, this, I think they might have meant the Mag 7, but they said the top 10 stocks in the S&P 500 represent 40% of the S&P 500. So think of it as every $100 that goes into, say, SPY or VOO, $40 of it is going into those 7 or 10 stocks. I think they meant 7. I think it's the Mag 7, and they said they have a PE of around 40. So a lot of people expect them to come back to earth. Will they? I don't know. It could be a new paradigm. What do you think? Do you think it's a new paradigm that these crazy high multiples are justified because they're such capital light businesses, meaning that they don't require like a lot of steel or, like oil companies? They're not very capital intensive. Oh, good. So I didn't even need to say something. J&K is a corporate, that sounds right. And that kind of what reminded me of it when I saw J&K. It looks like the word junk. So, junk in that truck. Up 10% on 3M. I haven't really looked at them much. I know they exploded a little bit, but their new CEO, I didn't like when he said it's probably going to take a couple years to really reconfigure and get things back on track. But hey, and that's the thing with the market. Mr. Market really is kind of manic. It just can do its own thing and doesn't have to have any rhyme or reason, right? Who was it, Ben Graham, that said the market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent? That sounds more for short sellers, though, because if you buy a stock and the market goes down, you don't have to sell. But if you're actually using leverage, that's when you can get wiped out. And that's one of the things I learned from reading Warren Buffett, is when he has always stressed, when you're levered up, when you're borrowing money to buy stocks, if the market goes down and it just crashes for a while and stays down there, then you could get margin called. Like, you have to pay that money back and sell at a loss. But if you just buy shares and you own those shares, it's indefinite. The market could be down for 10 years. Doesn't matter to you. So anyway, NextEra Energy and Target I saw Target still down. I don't know. I think they got to get a new CEO. Let me know what you think. Do you think Target needs to get rid of Brian Cornell? Because it almost seems like they always keep saying, "Oh, it's the consumer, it's the shipping, it's all these things," and then Walmart just keeps humming along. They're like, "Yep, another quarter, another record-setting quarter," and then the Target's like, but it's not. It's everything but. I don't know. I think it's eventually going to happen. They're going to get rid of Brian Cornell, but Frank is watching Nike and Keurig Dr. Pepper. Yeah, it's going to be interesting if RFK. We'll see. A lot of the junk food companies, but I was at a volleyball day 2 of a volleyball tournament today. I tweeted out a quick picture of like how many courts there's. I think it was like 70 or 80 courts on this one, but and it's all 15, 16, 17, and 18-year-old girls, and every club will have 3 different teams within those age groups. So there is just there is, it's crazy. It's loud. If you have a hangover, never go to a volleyball tournament. You will die. But I saw so many Nike products, and I was looking. I must have looked like a creep how much I was looking at people's feet. Probably look like one of those feet people, but creepy feet people. Hey, shout out, I'll drink to that. If you're a creepy feet person, you're probably welcome here as long as you keep your creepiness to yourself. But I saw a lot of Nike products, a lot of Nike shoes. Yeah, there was more on than Hoka. I thought, whatever, that's interesting. Of course, yours truly. And I looked out at my own feet, and what am I wearing? Adidas, you know. But the Grand Courts. Hey, I'm getting older. I'm a Chuck Taylor guy, which, if you didn't know, Nike owns Converse. Nike has 3 brands. They have, I was gonna say Jumpman, Michael Jordan, which that's the logo is Jumpman. It's called, right, the iconic Jordan, soaring Jordan. Which also I shared in the newsletter. Business Breakdowns did a 3-part series on video games, and it was an overview on the first, Sony on the second, Nintendo on the third. After listening to that Nintendo episode, I was telling my buddy Harris from One Penny at a Time, who is going to be on the next live stream. I talked him into it. He's going to swing by, but I know this guy never shuts up, right? So, I don't know what I was saying. Oh, Nintendo, Jumpman, Nike. Mario was originally called Jumpman, and Nike has the Jordan brand, Converse, and then Nike. So they have three brands. So, well, Marcus, thank you. I know you have crazy hours. Thanks for swapping on by, but you like that? That's the way my brain works. It's like I open one door and I see a couple more, and you just keep going down the rabbit hole. SPGI is the ones owning the S&P 500. Yeah, I don't remember SPGI. If you can put a quick one in there. James, what's up, man? You were at 7:16, and I don't know where my time is. All right, I'm not too far behind, so I'm going to get caught up. You know what? I don't know what's going to happen with the markets, but I heard David Gardner, the founder of Motley Fool, he always says whenever anybody asks him for a year, 5 years, 10-year, any time frame market prediction, he says it's going to go up because 2/3 of the time the market goes up, I guess. So 2/3 of the time he's right. But anyway, short term, dude, we don't know. I don't know, and you shouldn't be concerned unless you're heavily levered. I mean, you borrowed a lot of money to buy stocks, or you're, I don't know, you're messing around with buying options. Then it might matter, but otherwise, you could just literally set it and forget it, right? Follow up what happened to the stockholders of Caesar Entertainment and the bankruptcy, and as you said, switch over to Vici. Well, it's not Avicii. I think, didn't he commit suicide? Unfortunate. Swedish house guy, right? Offed himself. Terrible. I see you, Kevin. No market tomorrow. Yeah, I don't. So, John, if it was a bankruptcy, then the common stockholders probably got nothing, and that would be interesting. I don't. If anyone knows off the top of your heads, let us know in the chat. But yeah, you would have got nothing, and then because Lyondell Basel, that happened with ticker LYB, 2009 ish, they filed for bankruptcy, and then they restructured, and they came out as a reformed entity. So from what I understand, all the Lyondell Basel shareholders got nothing. And then they start trading again. And that's just the way it goes, you know? So yeah, I know, Kevin, boring. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. That would give me pause on NextEra Energy, because that's why they've been getting crushed, I think, and share your thoughts. But they're all about renewable energy, But renewable energy, what do you do if the sun isn't shining and the wind isn't blowing? What do you do? I mean, I guess until we have superior long-term high capacity battery storage, I think nuclear is the way to go. Yeah, there's been a few mishaps, but we learned from it. Corrections are made. Yours truly lived above a nuclear reactor on the John C. Stennis on that boat in the picture. I'm mostly fine. My kids came out okay, I think. There's, it's funny. I'm fine, and I could hear my wife saying like, "Yeah, debatable." Define fine. With Oh, you're asking Kevin with the cold blast. What about me, man? I'm way further north than Kevin. Kevin's down there in the south. Oh no, it might get into the 30s where Kevin's at. Dude, tomorrow, yours truly has an emergency type repair. I'm going to be outside for probably 4 to 5 hours. Supposed to be negative 29 degrees with the wind chill. So forget about Kevin in where are you, Arkansas? Dude, you're going to be fine. You put it this way. Kevin doesn't have any chance at frostbite. I don't know. I didn't check the weather by him. I wouldn't think, but yeah. And let me just say, it's not as bad as it sounds for me. Don't feel bad. You know, plug your ears if you're very green. But the truck that I'm in, it doesn't shut off when it's this cold. It runs all day. And if I need, I'll work for 10 minutes until I start to get really cold. And then it's time to sit in the truck and read an investing article and warm up. And at that point, I'm getting paid. I hope my boss isn't watching, but even if he is, what am I going to do? OSHA requires anyway warm up breaks and cool down breaks if it's really hot or really cold. But yeah, so with all that being said, everyone, let's see what you else have this. I'm going to get caught up here. All right. Yeah, never, Matt. Waste of money. Waste of money. Never, Lambo. More money in the bank account, for my generation, to come after me, That's what's going to happen, dude. Yeah. Not. I'd rather travel, spend money on my kids. If you guys haven't read Die with Zero by Bill Perkins, read it. It's a great book. And it just makes you focus on experiences and not things. A Lambo is a thing. I don't know. Maybe people have to compensate for something. When I see a Lambo drive, the rare times I do, I feel it's like somebody saying, "Hey, everyone, look at me. Stop what you're doing and look at me." I just don't need that. Maybe I'm at a point in my life where I don't care. This says the guy who's on YouTube with 54 people looking at him, right? But anyway, yeah, never. That's the answer, Matt. Never Lambo. Oh, hello, Andrew. I'll give you a weak salute. That was what we did in the Navy to be, jackasses with each other. But that's because you're with enlisted people. Fun fact, at least in the Navy, you only salute officers. Any enlisted personnel, you don't salute. So there you go. Oh, Korean cordboard. It's cordboard? I don't know. That's cordboard. Yeah, hater. That's people up there in the UP. Up there, they bite at cordboard. Yeah, I know. I got to work on that accent. That's not a proper Youper accent, so I'm sorry. All right, cool. You guys are, dude. That's awesome. I love that. Yeah. Got to meet with more people. I got to get to his email, but I don't want to say where he lives. I don't want to put that out there, but I may meet with somebody that's prominent. I guess I would like to ask him first before I tell the world where he's located. Yeah, because I'm gonna be there for a volleyball tournament next weekend. So, shoot, that may be a scheduling conflict. We're gonna be 4 hours away, and depending on when it ends on Sunday, that could be pushing it. So, I may not schedule next week's live stream until I know that I can be home in time. So, oh, good. See, Frank, I love it. I love why you guys share this because I didn't know that NextEra Energy had 9 nuclear plants. That's very important information. Yeah, that is awesome information, man. Thank you. And that's important information because from what I looked at with NextEra, I thought they were, which used to be Florida Power and Light, I believe. I thought it was predominantly renewable, like they were really transitioning hard into being renewable energy company. So, who's this? Oh, is this at me, Kevin? I don't know if that's. I don't know. I'm assuming you're talking to me. Put it in the chat, buddy. But yeah, me whining. Is it me whining about negative 29 degrees wind chills tomorrow? Oh, no kidding, Ray. You're getting 4 inches in Houston. Did you measure? How do you know? It's a conspiracy theory. Oh, that's right. City like that gets shut down. Yeah, that's kind of funny because here, 5 inches, people are still just trying to go 70 miles an hour like it's a sunny Sunday. It's nuts. That's when it gets dangerous. So, 5 nuclear plants. Southern has 2, I think. Okay. Hey, but still, that's very that's it's important to know. Oh, Southern Company is SO. Haven't met any other YouTube dividend investors aside from Ryan. In person, I guess he is the. I think he's the only one that I've met in person. But in October, I should be. Oh, he's not a YouTube investor. He should be Jonah, if you remember Jonah Weingarten, the keyboard play, the heavy metal keyboard pet. This power metal. Okay, the symphonic power metal keyboard player Jonah Weingarten. We're going to When We Were Young out there in Vegas in October of this year because my daughter, my old one, well, I guess both, but the oldest one is a really big Panic at the Disco fan. I never got to see them. They broke up, and I guess they're getting back together just for this show in Vegas in October. So I'm gonna meet him, and I think maybe Adam. Adam, if you're out there, if you're listening, he'll live stream. He has a channel, and I thought there was one more. I don't know, but we're gonna try and do a little thing. So, oh, that's cool. Ontario's looking at building the largest nuclear power plant in North America. The lowest it got was 39. Yeah, well. Yes, you're supposed to only salute with a cover too. So there you go, John. It's called a cover, not a hat. Except when we had the baseball caps, I think that was called a command ball cap. It was a command cover. Anyway. So that's another Navy thing. You're supposed to remove your cover when you go indoors, but I do believe that you still can salute uncovered when you're indoors to an officer, just not outdoors and uncovered. When you're outdoors, you got to be covered. I don't know. You still remember these things all these years later. Oh, you were an Army guy. That's right, Andrew. I forgot about that. When did you get out? I got out of the Navy in 99. So, do you guys want to? Oh, we got to do news. What am I thinking? Let me get that set up here and get ready for news. Let's see when. There was a bit of news too, surprisingly. 13, 14, when was it? 10, oh, here we go. All right, everybody. Need some news for the music, right? Oh, I could do that. Wait, I can do that. This might be, hold on, let me see here. Media assets. Oh yeah, I could do background music. Check this out. So I got like 10 of them I can pick from. That's too loud. How about that? Is that too loud? I got 80s background loop, acoustic cinematic, dance pop daydreaming, something called Feeding the Ducks. Crazy. So there's lo-fi. Let's leave on my 80s background loop while I do the music. Alright. Tell me right now, is it too loud when I'm talking? Is this distracting? Can you still hear? Because you got to be able to hear what I say. I can't drown myself out with this silly music, so. That's right there? Okay. Sorry, Steve, if you're listening with earbuds. Yeah. Alright, so we got some news music going. How about that? Another first for this strange thing we meet for every week, whatever. Alright, let's go. Oh, by the way, for those of you that weren't live, you see how somebody commented on this shirt, and it was one of my Christmas gifts, because when my family asks me what I want, I say nothing, just goodwill or cash to invest with. So, yeah, Frank might be, maybe that's too loud. Let me turn it down a little more. There we go. Might be... This is turning into a car crash. I think I would have had my cursor stuck. Okay. Right there, because all of a sudden, I'm like... Yeah, sorry. Sorry about that, everybody. Technical difficulties. We've got it under control now. -11. I know, Steve. I think I fat-fingered it while I was going to click over here. So, okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls... For all of you watching at home and across various devices all around the world, it's time for Dapper Dividends news. No, Simply Safe Dividends news, I meant. Sorry if I'm yelling. My wife says I'm a loud talker. It's from my tinnitus. All right. Zoom in a little bit. I love 80s type music. I do. All right, are we sharing? I'm trying to wait on my damn phone there. Anyway. This guy cusses like a sailor. Tragic California wildfires. There we go. Raised concerns for Edison's dividend profile, so they downgraded. I don't know what their name is. EIX, just Edison, but yeah. So they downgraded them from 60 to 50. What's their ticker? Let me see. Or what's their proper name? Edison International. There you go. So they were downgraded. You know, I want to be different. Yeah, it's what happened. The cursor's stuck. People are like, we're not listening to you anymore. Play with music. All right. Edison International, by the way, downgraded. They refreshed their outlook on Toronto Dominion Bank, meaning that they went over everything they had previously written on TD, made sure it was still accurate, up to date, relevant. So that's what that means. Nothing really changed. They reaffirmed their dividend safety score. So along those same lines, they went through everything. So I guess I should say here, check this out. When you see refreshed outlook, this blue box right here is the outlook. And this is proprietary. I'll just go through. If anybody's interested, they'll say on... they reaffirmed their safe rating on December 19th. So they go through everything. Reaffirm that rating, but then the outlook is this blue box. So they have their own little, or big, their own, I guess, individual thoughts on the company. So they'll give a little history, where they're at, where they think they might be going, maybe a little bit of an insight on their dividend safety score. And I'm going slow here because you can pause that if anybody wants to read that. So that's the outlook. So that means they refreshed that outlook, meaning that blue area, they may have changed a few things, but it's fresh. Certified fresh. Isn't that Rotten Tomatoes when they certify something as fresh? And then the reaffirmation, they just reaffirmed that they don't want to upgrade or downgrade that safety score. So they reaffirmed that this, as of this date, they still give this Rexford, which is interesting. That's one we've talked about, and they have just been, as you can see, the undervaluation is quite a bit. They expect a price of 65 to 80 bucks, and I don't know. That's one that I may dig into to see if I can figure out why it's so beaten down. So, but it's predominantly Southern California industrial distribution centers. Lennar, which is a home builder, they reaffirmed their borderline safety score of 60. Oh, and they are, what are they spinning out? Millrose spinoff. And when it says income investors are expected to be kept whole, that means that there will be no change to the amount of dividends that you receive after the spinoff. So whether it's, I don't know, just keep the math simple. If Lennar was paying $1 in dividends and they spin out Millrose, I don't even know what that is, and Millrose now pays 50 cents, but Lennar now pays 50 cents, it may look like a cut, but they don't consider it a cut, because if you add the spin-off shares, you got 50 cents, and the Lennar, you have 50 cents. Put it together, you still have $1. So and essentially, that's what it means by being kept whole. By the way, Kevin, if you're still watching, man, I really, really enjoyed you giving a different insight into how net debt to capital can be affected by share buybacks. That was really, really cool. I really, really do appreciate that, man. And by the way, Monday nights, if you're not doing anything, watch Kevin. It's a fun time. Consolidated Edison raised their dividend 2.4%, which is their 51st consecutive annual increase. A couple more to get through here. Valero raised their dividend 5.6%. And somebody was buying Valero. I don't remember who. Kevin, you were looking at ConocoPhillips, ticker COP. But Valero raised their dividend. Fastenal. Something I didn't like about Fastenal. Oh, check this out. They raised their dividend 10%, but what I didn't like about Fastenal, because this is in my industry, my wheelhouse, so they look to be overvalued, but I think it was their free cash flow payout ratio. So they've been growing that dividend very fast, 26-year growth streak. Something worried me, though, and it was, I think it's a little overvalued. Let's see, where are we at? Yeah, I didn't like that. Free cash flow payout ratio. Look at the cycles. 105%, but it's been mostly over 60% since 2015. Two instances, it was at 105% because the free cash flow per share dropped. And then they've been at 94%, which is really not a lot of wiggle room to have any missteps to really grow the business, so, or raise the dividend a lot, but they still do it. So if anyone has any insights, or if that bothers you, I think their debt was okay, though. I think they're buying back shares. Yeah, sales growth has been slowing for Fastenal. Let's see. Yeah, they don't really buy back many shares. Pretty much been flat since 2017, so kind of steady Eddie. But yeah, really good return on, I mean, their margins are just awesome. Yeah, very low net debt. So yeah, it's an interesting one. Very interesting. If anybody invests in Fastenal outright, let us know. A couple more. They reaffirmed their safety score on General Mills, 90 safe, as they are adapting to ever evolving consumer trends. So they think their dividend remains strong. And last one, they refreshed their outlook on Valero, which we just talked about, them raising their dividend, and they think it's overvalued a little bit. And there you go. Here you go. My portfolio. Realty Income declared their next dividend, and that's a polarizing company, but hey, at least we know it's probably not going to pay your rent, right? Same thing with VTI. This one was interesting, right? It's the total investable U.S. stock market. They had announced, this was a December 21st, so this is a while ago, but the average payout ratio over the last 12 months dropped 1.6%. So you see in December it was 93.05, and now it's wait, what am I? Oh, here we go. That was 22. December 23 it was $1, and now it's 94 cents. So it's dropped a little bit. But that's that. That's news, and now I'm back with all y'all. So let me turn this off. Right? That didn't work so well. This loop. Stupid. I could load my own music in there, but all right. What do you guys gotta say? Yeah, waste of time. What did you get out in, Andrew? Oh, I'm sorry. You got out of the military, the army in 2009. Once again, man, thank you for your service. I know that I'm not supposed to salute you, but I'll salute you one human to another as a sign of respect. AMD and Celsius. AMD, I'm not too big on the. I mean, personally, I don't understand the semiconductors very well. I don't understand what makes them tick, what gives each of them their competitive advantage, and if they do have a competitive advantage, is it durable? NVIDIA seems to be. Very interesting that Nintendo's going to be incorporating AI into its newer platforms and things that it's doing, and guess who's going to be NVIDIA, like right there with Nintendo. So that's interesting. Celsius, I did see a lot of these teenage girls today drinking Celsius. I guess it was the energy drink du jour. Did I use that word right? But it's a very fickle. What's the next trend? Maybe something new comes out, and then every teenager wants that thing. So, you could throw a few shares in there, but I think a lot of people are buying Celsius thinking it's going to be the next Monster. We don't know. Nobody knows. It could go away or it could be bigger than Monster. But yeah, let's look at it real quick, man. I know it's not a dividend stock, but just because I'm interested here, I'm sorry, John. I stopped it. We won't ever do it again. Okay, it was a first and a last. I do apologize. Well, there's still 60 people watching, so everybody didn't leave. But I want to look at Celsius really quick here just to see. I know they had explosive growth in their top line and bottom line. Let me zoom out of that. I am so sorry, John, because I can't see the chat. Wait, why did I put in realty income? That's not what I wanted to do. CELH Celsius. All right, let's see. When were they founded, by the way? They were founded in 2004, and they're headquartered in Ratsmouth, Florida. Very nice, right? Isn't Boca Raton? Boca Raton. Doesn't that mean rat's mouth? Yeah, something to that effect. Look at free cash flow payout ratio, 0%. That's because they don't pay a dividend. All right. Yeah, this is interesting. So this is Celsius again, everyone. Don't pay a dividend. They do not. Don't pay. Nice English there, buddy. Cook County education much? Just as early as 2021, they had been negative 45 cents per share of free cash flow. And then it just exploded upward, 61 cents, but they expect it to come down to 26 cents. They didn't do a valuation on it, did they? No, they don't give a valuation. Yeah, sales growth. Sorry, this is making you sick. Sales growth, look at that. I mean, just gangbusters, 74%, 140%, but it is coming down now in the last 12 months, only 19%. So that's why the stock's been getting clobbered. Total sales still up. They have been not really diluting. That's nice to see. Not much dilution, although shares did increase quite a bit. Yeah, obviously return on invested capital is now very healthy, but it was negative mostly, except for 2020. So I think it's cyclical. It's such a fragmented market though, which I guess could be good, but they apparently have no net debt from what I see. Yeah, I don't know, Manel. I guess maybe I haven't looked at it enough. Do any of you drink Celsius? And when you go to your gas station, look next time. Look at how many Monster, Rockstar, Ghost, which, oh, by the way, my guy Ryan was on Dividend Talk. That was cool, the last one. And he mentioned how Ghost, which Keurig Dr. Pepper bought, is headquartered in Vegas. there's a lot. So I guess those are the big, what, four, three, four. So yeah, Monster, Rockstar, which doesn't PepsiCo own? Monster, Rockstar, Celsius, and Ghost. It's four, maybe five. Oh my God. I'm so sorry about that. If anyone had that volume up, that is just, I do apologize. Company Kian, Kian. A company's net debt to capital ratio can significantly affect its perceived financial health, creditworthiness, and investment attractiveness, as a high ratio indicates a greater reliance on debt. Uh, yeah, well, I'm assuming that you didn't type that out, John. I'm going to guess that's a copy and paste. So investment, it's a high ratio indicates a greater reliance on debt. Yes, but also, like Kevin pointed out, though, that the less shares that are outstanding, the higher that it will be. So, yeah, if you have any debt, it's going to magnify the net debt. Even if nothing changed with the debt, it's just because there's less shares, I think is how he explained it, right? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that. Trevon, I have busy weekend. I didn't get to check whose earnings are coming up, and I guess we could. Do I have time? Where are we at? 51. No, I don't have time. I'd have to fumble through. No, you know what? Screw F it. I was going to say F it. Here, let's do it. Let me get in my email here and bring it up. So it is, yeah, there's Kelly Green. I got to respond to her. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It's a Seeking Alpha email I get. So let's see whose earnings are this week, because it's called the week ahead. And if I can't find it in 15 more seconds, there's market briefing. Here, it's called Wall Street Breakfasts. Yeah. Let me go to it. Let me go to the, come on, where is it? Fun. Here, I'll just read it to you. So, earnings spotlight Tuesday, we got Netflix, Prologis, Interactive Brokers, 3M, Capital One. Wow. It's Wednesday, we've got Procter and Gamble, J&J, Abbott Laboratories, Travelers, United Airlines. Thursday is Intuitive Surgical Group, which those are the little robots they put in your bloodstream or your body or something, right? They something like that. I think that's really cool. Union Pacific, ticker UNP, Elevance Health, CSX, another rail company, and American Airlines. And then Friday, we've got American Express, Verizon, NextEra Energy, and HCA Healthcare. So I guess I'll be looking forward to, didn't I read PEP in there? No, I guess not. J&J, that's going to be interesting. So I don't know, Prologis, I'd love to see them miss and get clobbered. Let me get back here. I am here with you guys still, but yeah, there they are. You wrote, oh, I didn't know, Matt. I didn't know you were writing on Seeking Alpha. Well, I know they hooked up 10% they gave over to PepsiCo to help with the distribution, and I think that's what you got to do, right? They got to win shelf space and to get into Pepsi's trucks so they can get that distribution network going. You know, I didn't say what JJ said. I'm an artist. Yeah, I didn't see what JJ said, but New Zealand wealth tax going to destroy my dividend growth. Yeah, that stinks, man. And it's always, I don't know the answer for that, quite honestly. You don't want to evade taxes, but we're all going to pay. Whether you're paying on the front end or the back end, you're going to pay something, unless you meet the minimum thresholds for income and your qualified dividends, you might get a zero tax on those. But sorry, John, ask again. I think BKH, I don't remember that. That's not Black Hills, is it? Black Hills Energy and Schmuckers. I like that, Jason. I don't think I've ever spoken to you before, and for all of those of you that watch but don't say anything, I don't mind. It's cool, but I love hearing stuff like that. And I've never heard Kevin O'Leary say Celsius is a product, not a company. Obviously they're a company, but I get it. I understand what he means, and yeah, good. I enjoy those guys. I enjoy them. Wait, some bars? What bars? Oh, on the guitar? Is that what you're asking for? Oh, thank you, man. But nah, I don't know. It's yeah, you see that stuff, and it's funny. Expectation versus reality. I guess I could share something with you. So we're all adults here, right? But to keep it PG, it's funny. My wife and I went out last Saturday night into Chicago. Wanted to go to this Swedish bar, so we're at the end of the show. It's story time. You don't mind, right? We went to a neighborhood in northern Chicago called Andersonville. My relatives that came from Sweden first went to Andersonville. It's where all the Swedes were, and today they still have some Swedish restaurants, couple Swedish bars. They have a water tower with the Swedish flag. So it is also known as Lesbianville, right? So there's a bar that we went to, didn't look up anything about it. And wife and I went in there, and a couple minutes in, I'm looking around, and I tell her, I was like, hey, we're in a lesbian bar. And this guy, because, I'm alive, I've seen things, and I tell her, I was like, boy, not to be degrading, but a lot of butch haircuts. People that look like they could put a hurtin' on me, like women that could put just a hurtin' on this guy right here. And I told her, I was like, huh, from things I've seen on the internet, lesbians sure look a lot different here. It's the whole reality versus expectation type thing. So I don't know. If that offended you, I'm sorry. That's my honest thought. An honest conversation I had with my wife. We had a good laugh about it. Yeah. Nothing against the lesbian community. Shout out to an old friend that used to be at a bar we went to named Hawk. Um, she sounds like she looked, and she probably could have put my head through a brick wall if she wanted to. So, but she would buy me shots every now and then, so we got along. But anyway, that where do we go with that? I don't know. What does that have to do with investing? Not a damn thing. But I don't know. I just thought it was a funny story to share with you about whether you're sometimes in the stock market or you're in a lesbian bar. Expectation might not meet reality because sometimes your expectations can be warped or high. Sometimes both. So, yeah. Oh, Kian. I say Kian, right? We knew somebody, a kid named, I always thought it was Cyan, but it was Kian. So, well, I see with my lesbian story there, a bunch of people dropped off, and why not? The time is yours. We're not talking investing right now, so yeah, beautiful. He walks into a bar, and yeah, yeah, I won't share it's a trash pickup story. I walk around the neighborhood and I try to find all the companies that. Does anyone know what company makes Velveeta cheese? Someone Google it and let us know, because I go for a walk. You got to get outside, people. I know. Drop off, whatever. You got to get outside if you can. Not tomorrow here, but I pick up trash with I got a little grabber, and I'll be like Coca-Cola, it's a KO, and I think like I saw a Ghost can right a couple weeks ago. I was like, that's right. Keurig Dr Pepper bought Ghost, so it's kind of a fun little game I play where I had to there was a bag stuck in a tree. What bag was it? A Target bag, ticker TGT. So it's a fun little thing where I play to try and find everything. Like there was a Wrigley's gum wrapper. I'm like, Wrigley's is not publicly traded, but Warren Buffett helped, from what I understand, get the deal done where Mars acquired Wrigley, right? So right there, I'm like, see, it's a cool thing. Like, I hate seeing that there's trash, but the moral is that people are still buying and using these products. And for God's sake, people, every time I do this, I get a lot of liquor, little liquor, like airplane bottles, like vodka, whiskey, and then beer cans. Don't drink and drive. Please stop doing that. But There you go. Thank you. So I picked up a Velveeta cheese wrapper, and Kraft Foods makes Velveeta cheese. So it's a fun little game I play. I got a McDonald's wrapper and an Arby's, which I forgot Arby's. That's not RBI, Restaurant Brands International, is it? So the the Rain Man of ticker symbols. That's awesome. I guess that is, but put it this way. I get to go on my walk. My kids think it's embarrassing that dad walks around the neighborhood with the from Harbor Freight. It's a $2.99 uh, trash grab. For when your people are short. I'm 6'4", but when people are short and they got to reach something, it's a little grabber. So yeah, I play the game. I try to figure out from every piece of garbage I pick up who makes it and are they publicly traded, and then what's going on with that company, anything interesting. There you go. Now I'll remember, thanks to you, Ray, that Velveeta is made by Kraft Foods. So, and by the way, who's eating Velveeta cheese and throwing Kraft? Yeah. Anyway, all right, we made it. We made it, everyone. So, yeah, drinking and flying is okay as long as you're not doing the flying. And Frank, I love that because yeah, the grocery store is cool, but I guess the last thought I'll share why I kind of like the investing garbage type of thing is that I know somebody actually recently bought this 16-ounce bottle of Diet Mountain Dew. They bought it with their money and their assholes threw it out their car in the garbage or whatever. I'll get it. I'll get it and recycle it. But point is, that's a PepsiCo product. Somebody helped PepsiCo as a company. And I don't know. Maybe I'm helping Groot, which is Service Connection. I think ticker SCN. That's our garbage company is Groot. Not it's spelled like the character from Guardians of the Galaxy, but it's I am Groot. I should do that with their trash can. But anyway, all right, we're gonna get out of here. It's time for me to enjoy and unwind this Sunday night. I'm gonna have a couple adult beverages with my wife, as we do. It's our little thing on Sunday evenings. So that's what I'm going to do. For the 60 of you watching, God bless you. Thank you for hanging out. Yeah, I really do appreciate it. And for all you kids of the 80s, much like myself, even if not, I don't care. Pee-wee, he takes me out. I see you. Hey, hope to God, check your calendar. I won't be making, or whatever it is. You'll get an alert. I may or may not be live next Sunday night. Depends on when I get home from our tournament. So I hope to see you. And if I am live, I'll have a guest with me, Harris from One Penny at a Time podcast. So say hello. We love it when you say hello. See ya.